Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta. It's so good to see all of you here this morning on a beautiful day. Our first hymn is number 128, For All That Is Our Life. It's truly a UU hymn. Let's rise in body or in spirit as we sing together.
For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is our gift, which we are called to use to build the common good and make our known days glad. For needs which others serve, for services we give, for work and its rewards, for hours of rest and love, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life. For sorrow we must bear, for failures, pain, and loss, for each new thing we learn, for fearful hours that pass, we come with praise and thanks. For all that is our life. For all that is our life, we sing our thanks and praise. For all life is our gift, which we are called to use to build the common good and make our own days glad.
Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta, a beloved community that changes lives. I'm Darvis White, and I'm so glad you're here this morning. If this is your first time, I hope you will head over to the Welcome Center after the worship service. The Welcome Center is located in the social hall in front of the big bulletin boards. There, you will meet one of our greeters and learn more about our programming. At UUCA, we offer a rich variety of spiritual growth opportunities available for people of all ages. Our children's religious education classes are on a break right now until June. But today, we're happy to have the children joining us in worship. After the second service at 12:30 p.m., we generally offer religious education classes for adults. However, today, all of our adult RE is canceled due to the congregational meeting. At 12:30 p.m. in the social hall, the RE parents are honoring this year's RE teachers with a special luncheon. This luncheon is given generously for RE teachers to thank them for their contribution. So if you do not teach RE this year, please grab lunch out in the world before returning to the congregational meeting. And speaking of which, we now will hear a special announcement from our next board president, Christian Harden.
Good morning. Good morning. Today is the day, which is May 19th at 1:30. We will host our annual election on today, so you all are invited. You also will hear from the financial trustee, Bryce Thomason, hear from UUC Endowment Fund President Eric Poe, and our executive report will come from Reverend Terrence Strauss. So please come back. If you want to vote, you have to follow the bylaws, which is you have to be a member in financial shape on before March 20th, 2019. In other words, have to be a member here for 60 days. If you have children, that's not an excuse not to attend. We have fun and games and pizza for our children on today during the congregational meeting. So please come out to elect our new board and nominating and hear all the things that's happening here at UUCA. Thank you very much.
And now, please be sure to take this moment to put your cell phone in its most reverent position. Thank you. Once again, we're glad you're here on this beautiful morning.
There comes a time when people who are participating in this community decide to become a member. It is a serious commitment. It is also a joyous one as well, because it is a way of declaring to the world and to oneself, this is who I am. What this community believes in, what it stands for, what this community does, this is who I am. Membership is also a way to deal with how the world can distract us from personal and spiritual growth. Just think about how one kind of screen or another can steal away our attention, our time, our focus on what really matters, on what's important to us. Life is so busy, but membership is a way of setting a clear intention for your life to prevent your spirit from getting frittered away or fuzzed out or lost. With membership, we say, I am not going to allow the rush and gush of life to distract me from my personal growth needs. Membership is my way of committing on a regular basis to carve out time for my spirit to grow and to breathe. So we celebrate our newest members today and the act of membership. So would our newest members come forward now to the chalice table as I call your name, and let us hold our applause till the end. Sorry. First, I would like to offer a warm UUCA welcome to Letta Wu. Will she please come forward? Letta says, my hope is to continue learning about myself and continue growing with the help of a loving and caring spiritual community. I want to also offer a warm welcome to Colin Murphy. Colin's hope is to be involved in a loving community. And I don't know if I saw him today, but if Darius Lindley is here, I invite Darius Lindley to come forward. Okay, not here today, so maybe in our next New Member Sunday he'll be here. And a warm welcome to Richard Gross. Is Richard here? Yes. Richard is a retired teacher who taught history and geography. He has studied many religions, has received so many ideas from each of them. Richard is inspired by the spiritual growth and tolerance that Unitarian Universalism offers and what it stands for. Is Tori Dixon here? I have not seen Tori this morning either. We will welcome Tori Dixon at our next New Member Sunday also. And I want to give a warm welcome to Alan Garrett. Come forward. Joining UUCA, Alan says, will help me instill open-mindedness and empathy in my youngest child, and will help me find ways to address the problems of poverty and homelessness I see every day in Atlanta. Alan has 4 redheaded children, Ashley, who's 31, Alex, who's 23, Adair, 20, and Andy, age 5. Alan has practiced law for over 25 years, first in New York and then in Atlanta. Both law firms allowed him to devote significant time to pro bono cases, and actually he's received a Lifetime Pro Bono Award from the State Bar of Georgia in 2018. He shares a love of Star Wars with his eldest daughter and a love of the Beatles with his younger 3 children. So I invite each of you to introduce yourselves to our new members at the new member reception table in the social hall right after the service. And I think I should have said that as you come up, you're also supposed to sign your name to the membership book, just in pen. It's just in pen. That's what you're signing your name. So go ahead. There's a pen right there. And so let's welcome them with applause as they do this. Yeah. And now, congregation, will you please join me in a responsive reading of welcome to our newest members? You can see the words are on the screen. We welcome you with hope and joy as you join us in this community of faith. We support you in your spiritual journeys and work side by side with you for justice and peace. Now, new members, you have something to say too that's on the slide up there. Today, I become a full participant in this faith community. I commit myself to support the mission and covenant of this congregation through my gifts and my service. And now the congregation. Inspired by those who join today, we renew our commitment to support the mission and covenant of this congregation through our gifts and our service. All of us together. Together, may we become the people we aspire to be and the people the world needs. Yay! You can meet and greet these fascinating new members of UUCA in the social hall right after the service, right before the teacher luncheon. Whew, a lot going on today. And now, Darvis will light our chalice this morning, the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. Won't you please join me in saying our chalice lighting words together? Light this flame, illuminate our tradition of seeking, invite all who are yearn for acceptance, and ignite our passion for justice and peace. The light of our chalice flame also represents the warmth of community we find here. Won't you please turn to your neighbor and greet them with a handshake or a hug. Welcome them here. Woo! Good to see you too. Good to see you. Good morning. Hi. I love that necklace.
The answer is yes.
This keeps.
Our next hymn is number 121, We'll Build a Land. Let's please rise in body or in spirit as we sing together, 121.
We'll build a land where we bind up the broken. We'll build a land where the captives go free, where the oil of gladness dissolves all mourning. Oh, we'll build a promised land that can be. Come, build a land where siblings and sages, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace ever flow. afflicted and all those who mourn, and will give them garlands instead of ashes. Oh, we'll build a land where peace is born. Come, build a land where siblings and sages, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream. We'll build a land building up ancient cities, raising up devastations from old, restoring ruins of generations. Oh, we'll build a land of people so bold. Come, build a land where siblings and sages, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream. Come, build a land where the mantles of praises resound from spirits once faint and once free, where oaks of righteousness stand her people. Oh, come, build a land, my people, we sing. Come, build a land where siblings and sages, anointed by God, may then create peace, where justice shall roll down like waters, and peace like an ever-flowing stream.
In most cultures, there comes a moment in a young person's life when they are initiated into adulthood, or at least into adolescence. That moment for our children, our youth in this congregation has come. And as you leave childhood and childish things behind, you are invited then to experience new privileges. And with that come new responsibilities. One of those responsibilities is the call to articulate your values, your beliefs, and your desires to your faith community and to make your contribution known. This is a vibrant religious moment in our world. In the Muslim community, we are in the middle of Ramadan, a time of deep reflection, of prayer and recommitment to religious community. In the Christian world, we are in the post-resurrection period, a liminal space where hope is reborn against all the odds. So it is fitting that today we will honor the liminal rite of passage for 3 of our graduating youth in our congregation. We will be invited to see their spark, to learn what ignites their passion, meaning for these youth who we have nurtured us in return with their hopeful and exuberant spirits peeking through, even when hope is hard to find. To be a teenager in America today is to feel the pressure to perform, to be social, to do all the activities, to excel, to compete. They are pulled in so many different directions to be the best. But that is not what we ask of you here in your faith community. This is one place where we do not necessarily value you for all you can do. We value you simply for who you are. And in these times, that is an radical act of love. So please, feel that love here today as we celebrate all of the places where we are meeting today, new members and graduates, and our faith development journey here at UUCA. And now won't you please rise in body or in spirit and sing with me, Wake Now My Senses, number 298.
Wake now my senses and hear the earth call. Feel the deep power of being in all. Keep with the web of creation your vow. Giving, receiving, as love shows us how. Wake now my reason, reach out to the noon. Join with each pilgrim who quests for the true. Honor the beauty and wisdom of time. Suffer thy limit and praise the sublime. Wake now, compassion, give heed to the cry. Voices of suffering fill the wide sky. Take as your neighbor both stranger and friend, laying and striving their hardship to end. Conscience with justice thy guide. Join with all people whose rights are denied. Take not for granted a privileged place. Our love embraces the whole human race.
Good morning. My name is Barry Weiner, and I want to talk to you about our Coming of Age program, something near and dear to my heart. You may notice this year, during the bridging ceremony, that there is no coming of age. Due to a number of reasons, including our move, as well as a lack of potential 8th graders, we decided to put coming of age on hold for a year. We are starting for the 2019-2020 RE year in September, and all rising 8th and 9th graders are eligible to participate. No one will be left out. So I've had the honor and the privilege to serve as chair of the Children and Youth RE team for the past year. 6 amazing UUCA members, plus me, and 3 wonderful staff members meet once a month to find ways to serve the RE program here at UUCA. As chair, at the beginning of each meeting, I try to ask a thought-provoking check-in question. After an annoying drive to our May meeting a few weeks ago, I almost changed the question to, what is your biggest driving pet peeve? Tied for number 1 for me, drivers who turn into oncoming traffic they cannot see, and drivers who back into parking spaces. Unless you're at a ball game, a concert, or other big crowd event. I mean, why would anybody take 2 minutes to back in and out and in and out, just to save 15 seconds when you leave? But I digress. I kept my original question. When was the last time you left your comfort zone? And when have you left it at UUCA? For me, I left my comfort zone about a minute ago when I stepped up here to speak. Seriously, though, about 4 years ago, I signed up to be a mentor in Coming of Age. My wife Jennifer and I have been members here since 2009, and we attended fairly regularly for a few years before that. I had filled in occasionally when asked to for my kids' RE classes, but I'd never made a serious commitment. Though nervous and well outside my comfort zone, I jumped into Coming of Age. I served 1 year as a mentor and 2 years as a teacher facilitator. Those years have been perhaps the most rewarding in my time here. Seeing the youth and adults spawned into a close-knit group has been inspiring, as well as watching the youth grow into rock stars. The Coming of Age ceremony has come to be my favorite one here, and my involvement with Coming of Age has also led to numerous volunteer opportunities as well. It led to my time on the Committee on Shared Ministry with Reverend Rogers, to the Youth Ministry team, which merged with the Children's Ministry team into our current RE team. Some of you might also recognize me from the RE Greeting team, where I'm stationed in the social hall wearing my bright yellow crossing guard vest before and after services. Several people have offered to bring me a stop sign. I laugh as if I've never heard it before, but I have. So I've been tasked with getting the Coming of Age program up and running again, but I cannot do it by myself. I need all of you, and UUCA needs you as well. We're looking for not only youth, but mentors and teacher facilitators. We meet as a group one Sunday a month for 2 hours, and the mentors and youth meet for lunch before our 2 hours of class. We also have a weekend retreat, several fun team building activities, as well as a few service activities to give back to the community in need. The year runs from September to May and culminates with the youth reading a credo statement in front of the congregation at this very service. Though more than just a casual commitment, it is certainly not an overwhelming one. If you're interested, please sign up. It is a great opportunity to get out of your comfort zone. This program has helped feed my soul and my spirit. Please allow it to feed yours too. Thank you.
Let us put hands upon hearts, feel the warm connection. Let love in this moment flow. Say to yourself silently, I will love myself. I will love others. And that love will heal the world. And now we hear the joys and sorrows of our beloved community. We send healing thoughts to Paula Keinert and her mother, Elaine, who recently suffered a series of falls. She has stitches in the back of her head, but no broken bones. Yesterday, she was in the emergency room and is currently at Emory Decatur Hospital. Will be moving to a rehab facility before coming home. We send our love to Susan Kleinfelter, whose mother, Shirley Curry, passed away on May 4th at age 92. We are holding Susan in our hearts. Cards and emails are welcome. At this time, I invite you to say out loud the names of people you are holding in your hearts this morning. As humans have gathered for millennia, so we gather on this day to gently surrender to something beyond ourselves, to humbly acknowledge our mistakes, to ask forgiveness, to seek hope and renewal, to honor earth that supports and sustains life, to remember that all beings are inextricably and mysteriously connected, and to feel that connection. So now we still our bodies, we still our minds, we take in a big breath, and we exhale. We relax into this space that our intentions make sacred. We enter into the wise silence. I'd like to introduce UUCA Endowment Fund Representative Laura DeCastro and Youth Ministry Coordinator Ayana Coffey Stringer, who will together present the Riemann Scholarship. Oh, there she is. Okay, great.
Good morning. My name is Laura DeCastro, and I have the pleasure of currently serving on the Board of Directors for our UUCA Endowment Fund. The Endowment Fund provides funds for a scholarship each spring to a graduating high school senior who has participated in at least 75% of youth gatherings over the course of their participation in the group, has a minimum of 1 year of active youth leadership, embodies the cultures and goals of the UUA youth, and lives out the values of UUCA within the congregation and beyond. This Riemann Scholarship began in the mid-'70s by Rosalind Riemann. Roz was an active volunteer in the religious education program in the time when our congregation was known as the United Liberal Church. She had no children of her own and felt strongly about supporting the youth of the congregation. Although the actual sum of the gift was long ago exhausted, our endowment fund has continued the award in her honor and recently increased the scholarship funds available to $1,500 a year. Religious Exploration staff determines the recipient, and this year asked that the scholarship be shared between 2 graduating seniors, each receiving a $750 scholarship. Please join me in congratulating our 2019 Riemann Scholarship recipients, Kolya Sovereign and Alex Pohl.
Lasting friendship requires both similarity in something that's foundational as well as consistent challenges. We offer all those who seek it a moral gauntlet as well as like minds to travel through it. The relationships that you make here are the types that can last a lifetime. This year, there were 2 clear options for the Riemann Prize. Kolya and Alex are matched in their dedication to this community. They have a bond that goes beyond regular friendship. Simply put, they're church friends. And that means family. Kolya and Alex, you've individually made my experience with youth group fun, inspiring, and often hilarious. But when you're together, there's no discussion topic too obscure, no problem too illogical to solve, and no brainstorm session that you can't see through to completion. I'm standing here as a representative of our community. We've watched you as you've willingly taken up leadership in both YRUU and in the wider church community. We've seen your constant presence. We've been inspired by how you embody the spirit of our principles. We're honored to have you as representatives in the world. And now the offering will be given and gratefully received. Please give generously for the continuing work of this congregation.
Down, and oh, my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burdened be, then I am still in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You give me hope. You show my soul compassion when I'm in need and find myself in pain. You touch my hand and give me soft assurance until my heart is filled with joy again. You raise me up. You raise me up. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be.
Some of my favorite moments with this worshiping congregation are the moments that feel like a trust fall. When, in some ways, I think this worship service felt a little bit like a trust fall this morning. A lot was not working out right early in the morning, and we fell a little bit, but we caught each other. And one of the really spectacular things about Kolya and Alex is that, you're going to see I hope it's okay that I say this, you're going to see a photo of them later from prom. They went to prom together. As friends. They went to prom together with dates as friends. Oh, okay. Well, I got that wrong. Anyway, see, it's still happening. Jill caught me. The point is this. Maybe you feel like you're falling a little bit, and you need a place that'll catch you. You need a friend that'll catch you, a community that'll catch you. I hope that if you feel like you're falling, that you will seek out us so we can catch you, so you can fall back and know we've got you here. That's what this gift builds and creates in our corner of Atlanta, a place we can trust that will catch us whenever we need them. Blessings on this gift. May it go far and wide, do the most good, spread the most love. Blessed be.
To the work of this congregation, which is weaving a tapestry of love and action we call community, we dedicate our lives, and these are offerings. Thank you.
How many of you have ever visited the Georgia Aquarium, the Ocean Ballroom at the Georgia Aquarium? Not just the aquarium, but the Ocean Ballroom. Let me see hands if you've seen that room. If you've ever been there, it is similar to any other ballroom, except One of the walls, the wall behind you as you sit watching the presentation, is actually one of the largest fish tanks in the aquarium. That's the whole wall. And on the other wall is a side of the dolphin tank, an enormous dolphin tank. Now, the other night, I was there for the Center for Civil and Human Rights annual Power to Inspire banquet. The speakers were formidable. A renowned farm worker justice activist, the CEO of Georgia Pacific, a U.S. Olympic gold medalist, and finally, Ambassador Andrew Young also spoke. Yet, I could not help but feel disoriented in that room, like the fish were watching us swim around in our ballroom, moving to and fro, some of us in groups like a school, others on our own, gliding along in shiny, colorful dresses, floating with wine glasses in hand, smartphones. For our graduates this morning, Kolya, Alex, and Sally, Unitarian Universalism is the water they swim in, and always have. They have always been raised with the assumption that their voices would be respected and that their faith journeys would be taken seriously. UU Minister Victoria Safford writes, "Ours is a saving church, and by that I mean that lives are saved within it." People say that. They use that old vocabulary. They say, "I never knew there was a place like this where I could be accepted." They say, "I never knew there could be a congregation that believed as I do." They say, "I walked out of the church as soon as I was old enough, but until I came here, I had no idea how deeply I was longing for connection to other people and also to the sacred." They say, "I was a spiritual shipwreck, and I'm still drifting, but at last, I have a home." These graduates today have never not known there was a church where they would be accepted. They have only known a church where they would be loved beyond belief, encouraged to question further, to love more deeply, to never stop questioning a conviction. They have only known a church where their birth was a blessing, their worth unquestioned. They have only known a church that told them, whomever you love, whatever your gender identity, you are welcome here, and you are beloved. See, sometimes inside of this sanctuary, it can feel like that ballroom the other night. We are trying our hardest to give a speech that will inspire someone. We are trying to look our best, trying to harness the power to inspire. And the youth, well, they're just surrounding us. They're just swimming in the UU water. They're born into it. They're breathing it in. And they're understanding with their very being what the rest of us try to learn throughout our lives, through philosophy or self-help or right action or relationship. So this threshold of graduation, it's a moment to consider what kind of life you will live. The writer James Baldwin says, "One can give nothing whatsoever without giving oneself. That is to say, risking oneself. If one cannot risk oneself, then one is simply incapable of giving." Unitarian Universalism is the water our youth swim in, and because these youth were born into the safety of this community, well, they have all the strength of us behind them, encouraging them to risk themselves, thus giving themselves to the world. See, because they have us, they can risk themselves. They can give themselves. Now, like fish out of water, they might struggle a little bit at first to find their place in the family of things, wherever they go. But of course, they can seek other UU communities or other campus fellowships. Of course, they can always come home again, back to us. Whether today is your first day as a member of Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Atlanta, or whether it is your last day as a part of the UUCA youth group, we offer ourselves to your journey. We are the solid ground you will need to risk yourself, to give yourself to this community, or to give yourself to the world. Because the world needs you now more than ever. Amen. No worries.
Home, one hands down and another takes up the heritage of mind and heart, laughter and tears, musings and deeds. Therefore, we do not neglect the ceremonies of our passage when we wed, when we die, and when we are blessed with a child. Let us bring up our children. It is not the place of some official to hand to them their heritage. Let us build memories in our children, lest they drag out joyless lives, lest they allow treasures to be lost because they've not been given the keys.
It is needful.
This time, I'd like to invite the parents of our graduating seniors who will come forward and say a few words and offer an intangible gift to their child. So first we'll hear from David Smith, who will be speaking to his graduating senior, Sally Smith.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, Sally, it started when you were a baby. You insisted on being an individual. Try this food? No. Read this book? Does my sister like it? Yes. Well then, no. You wanted to learn it yourself and do it your way. Even at UUCA, at first, you wouldn't go to religious education. But if you had, you would have heard your theme song, I'm unique and unrepeatable. Fortunately, we pretty much figured this out when you were still young, that the wrong word for it was stubborn so-and-so, but you were. Charles Darwin had a better word for it. He called it differentiation. It is a critical survival, basic evolutionary skill, and it is completely natural and healthy to differentiate yourself. It's been a long road. There's been a few bumps in the road, but over the years, a funny thing happened. On your own, you pretty much got it. In your own way, you discovered, for example, earth-centered religion. You discovered the writing of Mary Oliver. You became a staunch defender of anything queer. You found your own ways to serve your community. At Decatur High School, if you're struggling with math, this is the person you go see. Sally founded a math tutoring center. So I guess the gift I've given you, the gift I give you today, is the gift of your inherent worth and dignity, which you already have. My gift is that I accept you for the wonderful individual you are. Vive la différence. Let your freak flag fly. You are unique, unrepeatable, and wonderful.
I'm going to invite Eric and Jill Pohl, who will speak about Alex Pohl.
I'm Jill Pohl.
And I'm Eric. We're going to tag team this just a little bit. So Alex, when you were young, we told you to have fun, be good, learn something. In fact, we still say that sometimes when you leave in the morning. You got the good, be good part down just fine. For have fun and learn something, you'll need to get out of your comfort zone a little. So say yes to opportunities, volunteer for things, go to social events even when you don't know many people. Put yourself out there and try new things. Talk to the people who cross your path and keep making new paths. To help you with all this, we give you the intangible gift of communication.
Maintaining relationships over the years takes a little work. Your grandparents would say that you need to call or write every so often. But for you, you can email, you can text, message, whatever. You just need to do it. During the day, make a note of what you're doing that might be worth sharing, and either right then or that night, share it. We aren't only looking for the gold nuggets in your life. We want to hear about the rocks, too. And of course, we have to add, respond to every message, especially from your mom and dad. Let people know when you appreciate them, when you're thinking about them, and remember birthdays. Don't be anonymous in class. Talk to professors after class and during office hours. Really get to know the ones that are good teachers and that you find interesting. Volunteer your thoughts, even in large groups. Sit near the front of the room. To Kolya, You've been a great friend to Alex for a long, even before you two went to the same school, and even before we knew you were your parents. Kolya and Alex met here in RE when they were 4 and introduced us to Lynn and Pasha. You two complement each other well. You have different strengths. We think you've shown Alex how to be that one person in the room willing to look and act confident, a rare and valuable trait. We've watched you turn third grade bossiness into real leadership, finding fair systems to let everyone's voice be heard.
To Kolya and also to Alex, we'll leave you with this. Don't get too attached to your ideas. Really listen to the opinions and ideas of people you respect, but don't necessarily agree with, and have the confidence to change your mind sometimes. You two are going to do great. Go your own ways, but keep in touch. And ask each other for advice, or just commiserate about a lousy day. We're both very proud of both of you.
Now we'll hear from Pasha Suverin and Lynn Geiger about their graduate, Kolya.
Hi, I'm Lynn Geiger,
And I'm Pasha Suvorin.
and we are proud parents of Kolya Suvorin. I have to give a little shout out to Jill here. Something that you'd said to me probably more than once, but it's always stuck with me, is the idea that we are not raising children, we're raising adults.
This gets to the irony of planned adolescence in parenting. Obsolescence. Sorry.
Different things.
The bifocals are, that's going to be better. Can I move it there?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Planned obsolescence in parenting. We put in all this work to build interesting and thoughtful adults who go off and then move out into the world.
We spend all of this time, we have a person that we want to spend time with, and then you leave. Or I've had so much fun singing in the choir with you this year, and then I don't get to do it again. It's really hard. And I know that it's hard for the two of you also. So you and Alex grew up and have become adults together, and we honestly could not have wished for a better friend for you to lean on all of these years. You're both deeply influenced by each other and by our families and by this church community.
And now you're going off into who knows what to get a crash course in how to live and think from people whose voices you've never heard before.
You probably don't even know right now which parts of yourself came from your parents and which came from other people. So far, you know more or less one way of being, and that is based in a large part on what you've learned from the people in this room.
But now, it's time to experience wider influences, to listen to sources of inspiration beyond just what we can offer you.
Some of these new voices will be thrilling and will inspire you to change and adapt who you are into an even more well-rounded person.
Some of these new voices might be dangerous or scary. Be fearless as you listen to ideas that sometimes you don't want to hear.
Listen to all of these new voices and use them to expand your knowledge of yourself and build a larger world that benefits from all that you can learn.
But there's an inner voice, too. There's a voice inside of you that's been there the whole time. Perhaps it's been quiet while you learned how to be from us and from this community.
Your inner voice is getting stronger now, and it's calling you to be the person you were always meant to be.
With practice, you can learn to trust this inner voice to help temper the external voices.
And one of the most important parts of becoming an adult is finding the balance between your inner voice and the outside voices that surround you.
So, there's 3 sets of voices we're talking about now. The first voice of your family, your friends, your community. The second voice of all the new people you're about to meet in the wider world. And this third voice that comes from a place deep inside of you.
We humans are a blend of voices.
We are born with an innate sense of who we will become, but we're also a product of our environment. We grow into adults by combining the best parts of all the voices we hear along the way.
So remember our voices as you step out into the wider world.
Go and seek new voices, strange and wonderful voices that are waiting to call to you.
And nurture your inner voice, letting it guide you along the way.
And now, we give you our intangible gift, discernment.
Discernment is how you will know which new voices will harmonize best with the voices you already listen to.
Everything we've taught you so far in life is about how to discern between voices, how to know when the new voice you're hearing right now is one that has the power to open up new worlds, new ideas, and new possibilities in life. Discernment is the moment when your inner voice trembles in excitement that in hearing a new voice, it realizes might harmonize with itself.
Please take this discernment with you and keep it handy as you integrate the myriad of new voices you're about to hear into the person you will become, as you blend the best voices together and become the person you were born to be.
And don't forget to call your mother, all of you.
So I'm going to invite the parents to have a seat for a minute and our graduates to come to my right of the bridge. On the other side of the bridge, I want to invite members of our young adult group, Hannah Bowman and Dandy Prince-Lou, who are here, members of our UUCA young adult group, to welcome you to cross the threshold, cross this very metaphorical and very literal bridge into the young adult, the world of being a UU young adults. It's also an exciting world. So today we recognize youth who are graduating from high school, moving into this next phase of their young lives. We open our hearts to them, be they here or elsewhere this morning. May they have love and support for wherever they go next. Graduates, please repeat after me. We welcome your blessing.
We welcome your blessing.
And we move forward in hope. And let's see. What? Oh, and now you cross. You cross the bridge. Go ahead. Yes. Young adults are giving you a chalice. This is yours. Keep it as a symbol of your essence as a person with inherent worth and dignity. Take it into your new home or space. As representatives of the youth of this congregation, we recognize your passage from youth to young adulthood, and we honor you.
Take this flame from us, and with its gifts of Unitarian Universalism that you have received so far, as well as the many gifts of friendship and community. Now it is your responsibility to keep your flame aglow. Use it to light up the path that stretches out before you. We honor you at this transformative time. And to the congregation, let us resolve as a congregation to kindle and rekindle the inner spirit of all youth and young adults who are now a part of our community, or will become so in the future. We give this charge to all the adults in the congregation. As you meet young adults who have grown up Unitarian Universalists or seek it out, you have the privilege and the sacred responsibility to welcome them, just as other Unitarian Universalist congregations have the privilege and sacred responsibility to welcome some of our young people into their congregations. If you will take up this responsibility, please say, "We will."
Would the families of our graduates please come forward, come around behind your children, join them. Place hands on them. from the child dedication service to the bridging achievement to graduation, throughout our congregation has dedicated itself to the development and nurture of our children and youth. May we know that we have held our children from birth to youth. We will continue to hold them. To send our youth off in this next chapter of their lives, we will bless them through a laying on of hands ritual, an ancient tradition of many uses: confirmation, healing, blessing, and ordination. In both Hebrew and Christian scriptures, it is the means of imparting a blessing. So will each of you turn your left hand upward as you sit to receive from your neighbor, and your right hand downward to pass the Spirit on. Join hands with the person next to you. So your right hand is on top of their left hand. And if you're able to do it, at each row, it's either the person in front or in back of you, so we are all connected. Take a moment to feel the sacredness of this connection. Be mindful of your hands, the power you wield. For a moment, they are not your hands. They are the hands of all who have ever been and are and shall be. And now these hands are your hands, hands that are essential to the ministry of presence. They offer solace in a touch or a handshake. They extend an open invitation to join the circle of life. Through the holding of one another's hands, we join our spirits and confer a blessing upon our graduates. Let us pray. Graduates, may you never unlearn your gentle sweetness. May you respect yourself and envy none. May you never once be used up. Remember who you are. May you win no victory that harms either yourself or another. May you ask for forgiveness openly and grant it often. May you know good teachers all the days of your life, honoring their vision, walking forward in their name. May you give sympathy to all living things, and by your actions lessen the tides of human sorrow. May you find a noble calling, adding to the sum of human happiness, and singing your heart's own song. May you know great joy, great peace, great love. And now the bridging ceremony has come to an end. May we continue to grow in our ability to kindle the fire of spirit in everyone, in all ages, as we welcome new members into our community and new adults into our midst. Congratulations to our bridgers. As our bridgers and their families head back to their seats, won't you please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing hymn number 168, One More Step.
One more step, we will take one more step, till there is peace for us and everyone. We'll take one more step.
standing and join hands for our benediction. If you are a visitor today, I hope you feel welcome and that you found something here today that feels like home and that you come back again. In the name of all that is good and holy with spirit of life, dwelling within and among and beyond us, we bless you. May your journey know joy and contentment and satisfaction. May it also know pain and disappointment in just enough measure to grow within you good character and compassion. May both character and compassion guide your lives. May you never feel alone. May you always feel love from family, from friends, and from the great holy source beyond us all. May you always offer your love to the world and walk your path through light, through darkness with hope, faith, and grace. May your life be a blessing. Go in peace. Amen.